Today's video on Sophia the 380 SL is actually changing out the coolant, flushing out the system, and changing the thermostat. So I was kind of screwing around with my coolant and I lost some. So I was going to top it off anyway, but instead of topping it off, I realized it's the wrong color and it's time to flush it. So I've never flushed the coolant on this car, never flushed the coolant on any car, but I figured, hey, instead of just topping it off with the wrong stuff, let's just go ahead and change it to the new stuff, the correct stuff, and change the thermostat in the meantime. So it looks like my coolant color is green and apparently it's supposed to be blue. So here's the supplies that I got. First is a thermostat. Comes with a ring, a rubber ring. Here it is. This is the thermostat I got. Here are some washers. This is the radiator washer, and you're flushing it out, the drain plug on the bottom. Here's the information on that. Two other washers for the engine block. Here's the info on that. Now, as far as flushing it out, you can either just do just the radiator, but when you do just the radiator, there's going to be some coolant that's stuck in the engine. So one of the mechanics had said, just go ahead and do the radiator, don't worry about the stuff in the engine, and then maybe a year later flush it out again, and that way you can get most of it. But I think there's still like a gallon or so left in the engine area, so I'm just going to do all of it. So I'm going to drain the radiator. That's the plan, is flushing out the radiator. I'm going to go ahead and flush out the engine as well. I got some distilled water. I got a lot of distilled water, too much distilled water. I got 8 gallons. You probably only need like 6 gallons or so. And so that way we can get all of it out, and then we're going to change the thermostat as well. So coolant, I got the Zurex. It's kind of a funny story. Vic told me to get some Zurex, and then I decided, let me call Mercedes and get the real stuff from Mercedes. They said they had it in stock. I show up to Mercedes and they take Zurex and put it on the counter. And I said, what happened to the real stuff? And they said they no longer get Mercedes coolant and they only use Zurex. So apparently Zurex is the way to go. Vic told me to get Zurex just because it was cheaper than the real Mercedes stuff. But again, I guess Mercedes only uses Zurex from now on. The color of this is blue. This is the concentrated one, which I'm going to dilute with water 50-50, and that's why I got all this distilled water. Again, way too much of it. So I got 2 bottles of the Zurex, 2 gallons, 1 gallon each, thermostat, and I got the washers. And let's see how this goes. First thing we're going to do is drain the fluid. So let's see, the first one is right here. I see that. There looks like there's one right there for the radiator. That's only on one side. That's easy. The harder ones are, there's 2 on the engine block. Let's see if we can find those. They are an Allen head. Here is, where is it? There's one right there. There's one right there. And there's one on the other side, right by the filter. And that is, I believe, right there. Looks like that's it. I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, let's give that a try. Okay, let's drain everything out. I got the passenger side off. That was pretty easy. Here is the wrench that I used, and it's a number 6 Allen head. You might want to get some new bolts. I hope this is not going to give me a problem. These bolts are, I don't know. I don't know if it's snapped or what, but it looks half gone. So that's kind of concerning. I might have to go to Mercedes to get a new one. I'm going to try to use it and see what happens. But For now, I'm letting the passenger side drain before I move to the driver's side. Okay, so I pulled off the driver's side. Look how big that one is compared to this little stub that I got on the passenger side. Ta-da! Now what? Where's the rest of this? Is it in the car? Not too sure. Should I use it? Should I go get a new one? Waste another day? Maybe it's better just to get a new one so I don't lose coolant on the freeway. It's probably a better idea, huh? Alright, let me see if I can get another one. Okay, I got all three drain plugs back in. I just used the same washers for now because I'm going to be rinsing it off with distilled water. I called that, I'm kind of worried about that one nut that possibly half of it is stuck inside. I'm not really sure what to do about that, but I ended up using the same nut. I called Mercedes. They left me on hold and they didn't answer. So then I was thinking of getting a new one, but for now I just used the same one and it seemed like it screwed in just fine. So we'll continue to use that same nut. I'm gonna go ahead and add water to this reservoir. The thermostat is still in there. I will add water and I will run the engine to flush it out. So all three drain plugs are back in using the same washers, and I'll use new washers once I put in the real coolant. So for now, let me add some water. That didn't go well. I added water in the reservoir, and I've got water, or half water, half coolant coming out of that one nut that was kind of half short. I think I might have screwed that one up, so I'm gonna need to get a real plug and full new plug, because I think it's actually coming out from the hole, from the Allen wrench hole. I think it busted through there and all this liquid is coming out through that hole. So that nut is not going to work. So back to the dealership to get a new nut. So when you're getting new washers, get 2 new nuts and just get it over with. Yep, I found the problem with the drain plug. There is a hole right through it. That's not going to be a very good drain plug when there's a hole in the middle of it. So that's the problem. I guess this coolant just eats right through this stuff. So anyway, I've ordered it and let's wait for tomorrow. All right, so I've already ordered them through Mercedes-Benz. They should be coming tomorrow. In the meantime, I decided to take the reservoir off. Only 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. Here they are here. I disconnected the hoses. This thing is pretty disgusting, so I decided, hey, if I'm gonna do a flush, might as well clean this thing out. Look at that. So, in the meantime, I will clean this out and I will wait for 2 new plugs, and hopefully it's not gonna give me a hard time tomorrow. Before I put this away, here's what I got out of it. Look at that nice mixture. Look at all that rust and that coolant. All right, so on till tomorrow. I was able to clean this reservoir. I mean, not as great as I want to, especially on top here. But I watched a video on cleaning this thing, and somebody uses kitty litter, or you can use rice, dump some in there, add some water, add some bleach, shake it up really well so that way the rice can like scrape off stuff on the side. It seemed like it worked pretty well. Not so much on top, but it's not terrible. But definitely way cleaner, way better than it was before, so that's good. There's a little bit left, but not such a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it. This will be ready for tomorrow, and we can move forward. We're back, day 2. I don't know what you guys do because I have a Mercedes dealership down the street, but if you don't, I don't know how you guys pick up parts. So here's the part that I got. They're the new bolts. Check them out. Look how clean and nice that is. The entire thing is there. There's the washer that I already purchased earlier. I already showed that to you in the beginning of the video. Versus this old, rusted out, with a hole in it. That's not gonna work. So pick up 2 new ones. They're $5 each, plus the washers. Make sure you get the washers, make sure you get the new bolts, might as well. So 2 of them, ready to go. And before I raise the car up today, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the old temperature sensor here. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that comes off easy. Before I start flushing out the system, coolant reservoir is looking pretty good. It's all hooked up. Looks pretty good. Ready to go there too. By now that you've been following this channel, you realize nothing goes to plan. No different here, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But there's 3 bolts holding this thing, right? So I got the first one off. I got the second one off. The third one, I was glad to see that it was short. Unfortunately, it's not really short. I broke it off. So that didn't go well. I got all three off, right? Well, 2.5 really. I'm trying to move this thing to get to the sensor. I can't even move this thing. It's stuck on so tight. So maybe I'll just bypass this. While I was doing that, I cracked this vacuum hose because it's super brittle, right here. Luckily it doesn't go too far, so I'm just gonna get another one and replace that line. So that's not too bad, but again, another drive to the store to pick up some more shit. I'm gonna put these 2 bolts back. I'm gonna pretend I changed the temperature sensor, even though I didn't. And if I have to, I'll take it to a mechanic to change that out because I can't seem to get this thing off. I'm gonna go ahead and just change the coolant. I mean, the coolant was pretty, you guys saw that, it was pretty dirty. If I can't get to this temperature sensor, then oh well. I can, I guess, always take it to the mechanic if I have to. But so far I broke one off and it's not even budging, so maybe it's just not gonna move anywhere. I'm gonna put the 2 bolts back on, get a new vacuum line, fix that, and we'll start draining. Not draining, already done that. Flushing. Well, that was an hour wasted and $10. I got 3 feet of this stuff, and just to show you, these things are so brittle and old. It's probably good to have some of these around, but well, maybe you don't need a focus, but just like that. I think that just flew off in like 4 different pieces. So they break off super easy, so it's probably good to have some around. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and attach this on, get my vacuum line back together. I'm gonna put my air filter in. I'm gonna screw those 2 bolts in. Hopefully I don't mess those 2 bolts up because I don't think it'd be good to have it being held on by 1 bolt because I'm down to 2. And we'll get back from there. Everything's been put back together on top. The drain plugs, all 3 of them are in. I've added water to this reservoir. It's pretty much full. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the car, and I'm gonna keep on adding water to make sure it's the reservoir stays pretty full. And I'm gonna turn the heat on, and I'm gonna let it cycle for about 15 minutes or so, and hopefully it'll flush out. So far everything's with just distilled water. It'll flush everything out, and I'm gonna drain it. Once it cools down, I'm gonna go ahead and drain it from the bottom again and go through the process. Let me see what I can get out of this thing. Car's on, heat's on full blast. Already feel hot air. Temperature gauge, just go check that out. It's getting warmer. Yeah, it's already blowing hot air, so that's good. We're gonna wait a few more minutes and then go ahead and turn it off and flush it out. And then we'll take a look at the color then. Okay, this is the first flush. It's still pretty green with a little bit of rust. I mean, it's way better compared to that first one that I had, which was like pretty much all rust, all brown. This is the green one. Again, I'm gonna probably dilute it one more time. I'm gonna not dilute it, but I'm gonna go ahead and drain it one more time. This is only from the radiator. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of it from the engine blocks, put the drain plugs back in, and do the same cycle all over again. And let's see what the next batch looks like. Here's where we're at. I'm out of distilled water. I thought I had too many, apparently not, because I keep flushing this thing and I keep getting brown water out. So this one was white, but now that it's settled, it's brown again. I mean, it's getting better. There's a difference right there, but still not good enough. So I don't know, I guess I need more distilled water. Well, I definitely need distilled water because I need to mix my concentrated antifreeze, but I'm gonna go get more water so that way I can keep flushing this thing out. I'm gonna continue to flush until I get something that's worth keeping. Back in business with more distilled water. I got another 8 gallons. I've spent like 30 bucks on water. Wonder why you can't just use your tap water in the meantime, because you're just flushing this thing, and then use distilled water just at the end when you're doing the mixture, and that's what's gonna stay in the car anyway. Just a thought. I mean, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna continue using distilled water. I already bought it, but I'm not sure why you just can't do that for a little bit. Okay, running the car now with some more water. I think I'm done getting more fluid from the block. I think I'm just gonna continue just doing it from the radiator because it's just circulating through anyway. Seems like a pain in the ass getting back to those 2 nuts anyway, the bolts. So I'm just gonna do the radiator for now on. Maybe one last time from the back, but I'm just gonna do it from the radiator. I'm kind of getting over it. A few more times. Might as well use up all this distilled water I purchased. Hopefully it'll be clear at some point. Okay, the car's all ready. It's all drained out. All the new plugs are in there. It's ready to go. Just need some antifreeze. The coolant is ready to go. I just need to dilute this down to a 50-50 mix. Again, these are 2 concentrated. They're 1 gallon each. These waters are 1 gallon each, distilled water. So each one of these 1 gallon is total of 4 quarts, actually marked on the side here. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why the 4th is not measured, so I just put a line there. That's my 4th. Don't disregard the 3.8. 3.8 is the liters, but where the line is, that makes 4 quarts. So I'm gonna take out 2 quarts, bring it down here, fill it back up with water up to here to make 4 quarts, 50-50. So I'm gonna keep doing that until I have a 50-50 mix. I'm gonna start pouring it into the pot. So the last part is just using this funnel in order to get all the fluid out, all the air out, sorry. So I filled up the reservoir of about 3 gallons already. I put a little bit on top of this funnel, and as it's sucking, as the air pockets is coming out, it's bubbling up and kind of burping up. It's sucking in some more fluid from up top and bringing the air through the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and push on this radiator hose a few times to see if we can get some air pockets come out. See the air pockets filling up? Kind of let it be for a little bit and make sure all the air is out of the system. Once I'm all done, I'm gonna take that funnel out and check my level down here in the reservoir, make sure we're good, and we're done with this project. So end results, this is from when I first drained the car. This is when I did the second, well, I guess it would be the first rinse. This would be the next rinse. What this doesn't show you, yeah, it's green and it's the wrong stuff, but what this doesn't show you is all the crap that came out with it. So look at these buckets. This is the first one. Look at all that rust that came out of it. And it got a little bit better here. And then it got a little bit better here. And then this is every subsequent rinse. So the color kind of stayed about the same until toward kind of the end. I mean, it's still kind of, you know, I think this was the last one I ended up with. It's kind of like watery, but still has like a rustic tint to it. Way better than what I started with, but it's still, I mean, it was definitely, like when I first started, it's pretty bad. You can't really tell again because all this rust is on top, because like when I start moving around, look, there's the green underneath it. Just a good old mixture. So when I pull it up here, look, it looks like it's like new, wrong color, but it's new. But look at all that rust that's on top of it. So glad I did this flush. Same thing with this one. There's some green underneath it. And look at this thing. Look at the turkey baster. Look how dirty it is on the outside. So this was a good project to do. Again, I had no idea when was the last time that it was done, so it's good to go ahead and get this done. All right, project is finally done, so that's good. We definitely had the wrong color coolant in here. It's supposed to be blue. You guys saw that was green. Apparently that's the wrong color, so check your coolant. It's supposed to be blue, not green. I just went for a half-hour drive. It's running cooler, so that's nice. It seems like it's running at 78 degrees right now. There's sometimes when the car goes up to about 100 degrees. It's a cool evening in Los Angeles, only about 70 degrees or so, maybe even 65. So it may be running cooler. It's supposed to run cooler, so that's good. Cost of the project, let's see, the coolant was like $60. Water was like $30 because I bought a ton of gallons, maybe 14 gallons, and for some reason distilled water is $2.25 here in California. I've never purchased distilled water. I didn't realize it was expensive. So that's another $30 in just water. The temperature sensor, that was $40, which I didn't even end up using, so I may return it or I may save it to have a mechanic change that out. What else was there? Oh yeah, washers and the new bolts, maybe about $15 from the dealership. And I think that's pretty much it. Thanks to MinkMood. He's got a cool channel. You guys should check it out. He does some videos on R107s. I watched his video first before I did mine. He makes it look super easy because he knows what he's doing, and I apparently do not. So it took me hours of work. If I had to redo it, I could probably do it in like 2 or 3 hours. But since I had to make 3 separate trips to the store, I had to wait overnight, wait for Mercedes to get some new bolts for me. That was an issue. But his videos are super cool. His editing is awesome. He has music playing in the background. I do not. My videos are not as cool as his, but I show you the real deal here. When the bolt breaks, it breaks. When I break hoses, I break hoses. So you see me screwing up on this channel all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying these videos, check out the rest of the videos and also subscribe to the channel. We have like 350 of you subscribe to the channel. It's pretty cool. It's nice interacting with everybody across the world. Nice chatting with everybody. Nice meeting some new friends with these R107s. All right, take care. See you on the next one.